Welcome.
We're in bed.
I've been dying to do the pajama scene. So we saved it.
Trudy's great inspiration.
So we saved it for the last day of 2014. She finally gave in.
I gave in. Yes, all right. So we are in our pajamas.
She gave in to the pajama scene.
Yes, and we are in a bed in Cassadaga.
Cassadaga.
The spiritual capital of the southeast of America.
That's right.
The historical capital of spiritualism.
People come here to speak with their dead relatives.
Yes.
They do. That's the big draw.
It is the big draw. But it was also the big draw in the 1920s, the turn of the century.
During the age of the seance.
Right. And really, this town was founded by women who were both suffragettes and also spiritualists.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
Yes.
Instead of in Key West.
Because we wanted to educate you guys on something that actually mattered. Unlike Mallory Square.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot that, I don't know. Actually,
it matters to people who want to get drunk.
That's true.
Yes.
But the real truth of it is we missed the ferry.
We missed the ferry.
Yeah.
So we didn't go. So we came here instead. And I think this is a beautiful place because it shows that women were very instrumental in bringing the whole Eastern spiritual movement into America. Mm-hmm. And I understand it.
Integrating East and West.
Integrating East and West.
Together. Easy for me to say. Yep.
Yes. And, but it got a little sidelined, I think, in all the communication with the dead, because that's not what spirituality is ultimately about. What did my favorite Blavatsky, her favorite saying about that was transcendental materialism, which I find precisely what it is. Mm-hmm. Because you're still looking for a physical manifestation of the spiritual realm, mm-hmm. instead of going in and asking really pertinent questions about who you are, mm-hmm. why we're here.
We've had a lot of discussions about that.
Yes, we have.
So what do we do here at Virtual Tarot? We do a 4-card spread every month. This month we get to do it in our jammies.
Yes.
Thank you, Ava. This was my Christmas present.
All right.
Giving in to me.
Okay.
And the first card represents
the overall environment of the month of January for you, Taurus.
You can say all the cards because you let me wear my pajamas. Go ahead.
All right. And the second card is the challenge for the month of January, and the third is the unexpected, and the fourth is the outcome. And that's all there is to it.
That is it.
That is it.
And at the very end, we'll sort of wrap the entire thing up, and then we do a quick animation so you can get the wrap up.
So, let's begin.
Let's begin. Last month's recap. So what did we have for Taurus? We had the 9 of Cups. Well, actually, let me back up because we had 2 cards jump out of the deck. Do you remember?
Yeah, it was the Fool, and it was an inverted 8 of Cups. So it's a sort of a duality.
Mm-hmm. Are you tired?
No, I'm just thinking.
You gotta hang in there till midnight.
No.
Don't go to sleep now.
I'm thinking. I do that when I think.
Like Rodin.
That, in fact, they have an urge to be free, mm-hmm. and yet the other card says they can't walk away from something. Mm-hmm. So they're still emotionally tied to something, but they have a.
But they have an urge to go on a new adventure.
They have an urge to go, but they can't.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first card in their 4-card spread was the 9 of Cups, the Fat and Happy card.
Mm-hmm. Which is kind of, the card that pops up when we have a sign sort of resting on their laurels a little bit, If the cups are behind you, you've already built all of this.
You have all your relationships.
Wonderful stuff, yeah. And you're sort of resting on your laurels a little bit. Mm-hmm. There's always a time for that, though.
Yeah.
Because I don't see Taurus doing that for very long.
No.
You guys tend to move on pretty quickly. So but that was the overall environment of the month.
And then we had the world as your challenge.
Right.
Which
makes sense for the significator cards.
Oh yes, because you need to reinvent yourself, and you need to complete something, bring it to fruition.
And we had said sometimes you even, after this is done, this card, you emerge with a different eye color even. It is such a profound change.
Yes, because it's initiation, really. Life is initiating you.
Yeah.
You're going through some sort of major alchemical change, internally and externally.
And then after that, we have the King of Wands in the position of the unexpected.
That's it, yes. And so...
And then that goes along with the 6 at the very end, the going public card.
Yeah, so we had 6 of Wands at the end.
So there's some sort of fire and energy, like this whole, passionate way of organizing things, maybe, like unexpectedly.
Yeah.
So, even though you're a little fat and happy in the beginning of the month, you tend to get it all together with a lot of gusto.
Right.
Sort of, mid-month. And then at the end, you're actually, people are seeing what you're doing.
Yeah, the value of what, and then you gain followers.
It becomes public.
Right. So, that's it.
Wow.
Let's see what's up for them for the month
Ready?
of January.
And in the position of the overall environment of the month, we have... Ready?
Ready?
Here we go.
Ba-da-da. All right. Ready?
Oh my God, I'm so worried it's Taurus.
I've moon in Taurus.
I know, I'm worried about your moon.
Oh, my moon.
Concerned. Oh, moon concern.
Yay!
You always draw that card. I think we stacked the deck.
I did not. All right, so Temperance. Upright. Your art. You bring your art out. You see, because last month, the last card was they went public with something. What do they go public with? Their art. What is your art, Taurus? What do you love? What inspires you? This card says, please be patient.
Temperate.
Temperate.
When you think about it, the suffragettes, they formed the Temperance Society.
Oh yes, that's right.
Because they were sort of the precursor to Prohibition. They actually were...
Well, they didn't form it.
They
In fact,
were
they weren't
the
even
force
let in, remember?
behind Prohibition.
Well, eventually, but when what we just read, remember Susan B. Anthony was what spurred her on to become a suffragette is that she tried to join the temperance movement, which was, the banning of the
Oh, that's right.
Right, and they wouldn't let her in.
Oh, but
Do you
then they
remember?
took over after that. Women
Right.
actually took
over that whole organization.
Right, and they actually became sort of the balance.
That's right. Remember that? Yes.
Within the family, because all of the the men were going off and drinking this horrible moonshine and
becoming
liquor that was much different than what
Right.
I mean, there's this homemade bad stuff, right?
So it would create a lot of anger, violence, and instability in the home.
Yeah, death
And death even. And so women were
they took up the cause.
They took up the cause,
Yeah,
right.
and they became, sort of the balance within the home.
Oh yes, alcohol was readily available even in the workplace during the turn of that century.
Right.
You could go into your workplace and you could get drunk there. People would use alcohol to entice people to become part of their workforce. So it was actually bringing society down, and
hence the temperance.
hence the temperance.
Temperance movement.
Yes.
Yeah. So interesting.
Stop drinking.
The reason why we're
Taurus.
bringing that up is that here we are in Cassadaga.
Yes, which was founded by the suffragettes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Who were a part of this movement.
yeah, so it ties together that movement, the women's movement, and the spiritual movement as well. So they're all tied together, and that's what this whole community here is about.
So practicing temperance.
Practice temperance, patience, and inner bringing together sort of the creative forces within you, because it's about art, about your art, and sort of finding inner balance, alchemical balance, in order to bring your art out, which is what the last card said, to bring it to public.
It's kind of like the right mix too.
The right mix.
Yeah, because my son's working with audio and he's making beats. So, it's very much alchemical. Like, how do you mix this with that? And, decibels and all the things they have to know. I mean, it's like the perfect mixture. So that's sort of...
That's interesting for your son.
Yeah. What sort of colors the month? Yeah.
Let's see what their challenge is. I'm very interested. Look at that.
Boy, that card came up.
Oh, yes.
For who did it come up for? Capricorn.
Capricorn.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
So
their
the
first
Hierophant. Yes, this is your challenge. The
Yeah.
tradition. What is expected of you?
Right.
What everybody else does, and
Often art and tradition don't always live together tranquilly, because art is about freedom, liberation, individuality, uniqueness,
self-expression,
and the Hierophant is about tradition, about doing things the way they've always been done, accepted behavior. And so somehow you have to bring these two disparate impulses or conditions together.
Right. So what's good for the one sometimes is not totally accepted by the whole, of society.
Yeah. And or it could be if it's about marriage, if it's about the institution of marriage.
Which the Hierophant, often when it comes up, it's boom. First thing that a reader will say.
Right.
Marriage.
So it might be putting your artistic spin
on the wedding.
On the wedding.
Or a wedding that you're a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So let's see what... Oh, look at that. Same thing.
Queen of Pentacles. Wow. So this was all this is the Capricorn reading.
Yes, it is.
So if you know a Capricorn, or if you had a Capricorn in your life, check out their reading.
So unexpectedly, you, of course, with the Hierophant as your challenge, you have to stay frugal, practical, and you have to take care of the brood that is under your charge as well. Whatever brood that might be, your children, maybe people in the wedding party, if it were a wedding situation, but to manage it in a very logical and but yet beautiful, because they are the home decorators too,
Are they?
They are.
Taurians?
Taurians.
They love beauty, that's for sure.
They love
And
beauty.
music.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, they are sort of creatures of comfort.
Comfort, yes.
But it's interesting because this is all about sort of creating something, versus sort of like
On a real practical material level.
Well, what is it? Because the challenge is, you sort of have to be free flowing, to make this thing happen that you're trying to make happen, and it's kind of you're doing it on your own. So when you see this card come up, the Hierophant, this has to do with a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
Congregations of people.
Yeah, a group.
So that is sort of the challenge. And then when you come to this,
group think.
It is groupthink.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're dealing with groupthink.
It is groupthink that sort of, you know, they all sort of look up to this one sort of, you know, sort
Their
of
pontiff
doctrine,
Yes.
you know, and that's the challenge because, you know, unexpectedly, you are going back to your roots.
Your roots, yeah.
Because then, you know, it's like unexpected. So that's sort of like a hard stop. I have to be practical here.
All right. I can't be the wild artist.
Right.
I have to
so there's some consideration.
There's consideration to what's needed on quite a mundane level.
What is practical.
And also what is beautiful.
Yes, that's true too.
Yeah, so...
And how am I going to take care of? Because that's also, this is a very material...
It's maternal card.
Practical. Yes, drawing. Yeah, you're drawing or expecting to in the future to draw those to you whom you love and to protect them.
And yes.
So that unexpectedly, that's a consideration.
Unexpectedly. Yes, let's see how it is. I want to see.
Well, you get an idea.
You get an idea.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
It's like a Shazam.
Yeah.
But also, you know, this could, well, let's
maybe
tell you.
even offered an
Let's
idea.
tell you what it is.
Oh yes, it's the Ace of Swords upright.
So the Ace of Swords, the swords are intellect. And if you haven't been with us before, you know, this is the suit that is all about sort of the, you know, what's behind, or I should say what's between the ears, you know, I mean, it's all up here. So when that happens for, I think, a Taurus, I mean, I think it's pretty profound, don't you?
Yeah, they get an inspired idea.
Yes.
Either from their own being or from some other sort of, you know, unknown source. It just comes in out of the blue. And
they kind of latch on to it.
And they go, oh yeah, that's it. That's what I'll do.
Yeah.
And they sort of wield this sword and clear the path, the way. So what this idea does for you, Taurus, is it actually allows you to succeed at something. It crowns you with success.
Well, I often think of this as the tongue.
Oh yes.
Because it's the sword of truth.
So you speak the truth.
And you can somehow, you cut through all of this via communication.
Yes.
Like this early situation which you have with Temperance, which is your art, and I totally think we both see that. So you're trying to create something.
Yes,
and
I see that.
The wall is, hey, you know, this is what you should be doing because this is what everybody else is doing. But the stop is, the unexpected stop is, on the Taurus, I have to be practical about this. Maybe they're right. That's sort of what I see
so
here.
Unexpectedly you do agree.
For a moment.
For a moment at least.
But at the end,
you are inspired by your own truth.
Yes, and you actually are able to sort of find the way.
Find the way.
By using like communication, clear communication. This is what I want to do. And you probably have to communicate to the group.
That might be, that very might be to that Hierophant that represents the groupthink.
Right. Because this is outside of groupthink. It's so spiritual and beautiful.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, this should not in any way, shape, or form, you know, go behind this.
No.
Because this comes from this.
Right.
The Hierophant comes from Temperance.
Well, Temperance is what founded the church.
Yes.
Whatever church might be.
It's higher spiritual.
Yes, but they always take those inspirations and then dogmatize it.
Right. So this is the 5, and then this one is 14.
Oh yes.
It's a much higher
It's a
calling.
higher level, a higher evolution of that card.
So honor that.
Yeah, honor that and fight for your idea.
And fight for your right to party too, Taurus, because it's January. Every time we get this card, you're going to say, fight for your right to party. Because it's January.
All right. I guess so.
Tomorrow. So thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, Taurus.
And please tune into the council card down below. We're also offering global predictions within the council card area. So tune in.
Our global predictions for 2015. But we are also interested in your global predictions for 2015. There are a lot of psychic people out there.
Yes. So and pop a few out at us via video.
Yes.
Let's see what you got.
We would be interested, and once you do that, we'll make those known to the rest of humanity.
Yes.
And publish them for you.
Absolutely. So the other thing that we wanted to mention is that we do personal readings, and of course here we teach tarot, but we can't possibly read for every single sign, personally.
Yes.
And sometimes you guys ask us how accurate.
It's very much like the astrology you see in a newspaper, or you see for each sign a little paragraph or so. Well, certainly that in some way may pertain to you, but you're not going to be able to unravel your own particular situation by just reading that, nor maybe to unravel your own predicaments by just this. So we offer personal readings, and we also offer the council card, which is the spiritual overview of the reading.
Yes, so just click below for that, and it's a really good reading though. We've had a lot of people tell us, hey, the readings every month are spot on.
Yes, so they do sometimes hit the mark.
Yeah, they're spot on for me.
Yeah, me too.
So keep drinking the Ava and Trudy Kool-Aid, and we'll see you in 2015.
February.
Grab your sword.
Oh, my sword. Yay.
The sword of truth.
Say goodbye. Bye.
I don't want to hear the negative comments. I can hear the negative comments.
You.